Okay, this is the last minute thing. Like we're going to Saddam's palace in Basra. Ara's driving,
Yeah, hi.
and it's now the Basra Museum.
Yeah, it's Saddam Palace, but after 2003, it's left without any development or any care. So people, turn it to a museum. Yeah.
And apparently, it was the a British charity that raised a lot of funds for this. So we had to get, I don't know, we're going with some photographers, right?
Yeah.
So this is a former Saddam's palace, now the Basra Museum. So out in front here, they're building this is at the marshes, right in front here, and a boat. So they're trying to show the culture here, outside the museum here. There's one of the boats. So I'm building it here. There's some, I didn't know this existed, but that's pretty cool. So if you see photographers, that's the only reason, only way you could get in here. So people can go out on these boats?
Yeah.
And I've been to the marshes. And I went on a boat like that, so it's very similar. It's hard to imagine. So this palace was one of, I read 70, but it was like one of over 100 palaces that Saddam had. It was fully staffed all the time. But I can't remember what year it was, but the British used this as, I heard two different things. One said that they used it like as a command post or something and another online source said they used it as a cafeteria. So I'm not sure which one it is, but the Brits used it at one point, and then maybe they felt bad and then they made it into a museum. I'm not sure, but they helped a lot with the funding for museum, and I can't remember the name of the charity. I'll remember by the time I'm finished this. But it's absolutely giant when you look around. So it's not just this one building here, it's these over there too. So we're just driving out here, so all these buildings over there were part of this one palace. In the river here, they've only renovated, I think only the one that we've just come from is a museum. There was no money to do this over here. But it's closed and we have to come back tomorrow.
Sure.
Just like everything else here. It's complicated. So tomorrow we come back and see inside. I am back here at the Basra Museum. Hopefully I'm allowed to film, but we'll see. But check out this outside here. All these buildings over the bridge here too were part of Saddam's palace, but they're now military. See if I'm going to be allowed to film in here. Farah said I could. She got permission, so we'll see. Okay, so I'm in the Basra Museum. I did a bit of Google research, and you can see they completely redid the place as much as they could. But look at the ceilings here. As far as I know, they repainted it and they redid it all. Look at that. I know the gallery's up here. So there's four halls. There's the Sumer Gallery, the Babylon Gallery, the Basra Gallery, and the Assyrian Gallery. Assyrian Gallery? And by the way, I have permission to film.
For free.
For free. Again, it's really hard to see what things are because they're written in clear. Okay, this is a pottery jar from Nineveh and the Neo-Assyrian period, 911 to 612 BC. A large pottery jar from Tel al-Tahab. Pots. There's nobody here. It's absolutely deserted. But when this place was wrecked when it was a palace and then it was abandoned. Can you imagine like the British Army in here using it? And then it took years to make this a project. I think it's the only one of his palaces that's been renovated and sort of given some use to the people by turning it into a museum. But there's, I don't know how busy it gets, but there's nobody here. Right, you can see all these old artifacts. I'm just going to put this up so you can see. It's hard to read when they have it in clear like this. Same as the what are these, 911 to 612 BC carved ivory plaques. Wow, look at these. Look at the detail in these old things. 911 to 612 BC. Look at the detail in this. Fragments of a stone bowl and legs. 3 stone bowls, possibly Neo-Assyrian period, 911, 612 BC. Wow, these earrings here. Silver earrings, 911, 612 BC. Can you imagine a woman wearing these earrings back then? You wouldn't think that, would you? And bracelets. You wouldn't imagine them being into jewelry back then, really. Pottery jars from Asher. A lot of these things were confiscated from looters. It says on the things. Pottery jars from Nimrud, Asher, and Mosul Dam area, 1400 to 1200 BC. Pottery incense burners from Tel Hadad and Babylon. Jewelry, beads made from various stones, strung in a necklace. Of course, they have here some cuneiform 4 literary texts from Nimrod, 911, 612 BC. Number 2 is legal contracts from Nizu. Number 3 is a Babylon mathematic. So number 3, this is Babylon mathematics. I can't even imagine, it's mind-boggling how they read this stuff. This is the legal contract here, number 2. You wouldn't fit those in a briefcase. Okay, I'm entering the Sumerian gallery. Sumerian gallery. Look at the detail up here, it's unbelievable. It's all carved and painted. Check it. Everything. Okay, so I'm not into museums at all. I'm not going to go into too much detail on everything because you can come for yourselves. So I'm just giving a glimpse of what you can see here. Oh, clay loom weights, early Sumerian, 2900 to 2370 BC. Terracotta boats and a pottery jar on a stand. It's so quiet in here. Look at this. What is this face? 1 and 2. A sculpted face of a woman from early Sumerian, 2900 to 700 BC, and the lower star of a statue. And just pieces that they found everywhere. They have the cone inscriptions. So number 2 here. 11 examples of the world's first writing on clay tablets. Proto-cuneiform to cuneiform, late Uruk, early Sumerian, 3400, 2500 BC. Imagine how excited you must be to find these things. It's crazy to think how old everything is here. But it's also crazy to imagine this as Saddam's palace. Well, this is only just one part that they renovated it. There wasn't enough money to renovate the rest of it. But the rooms are enormous. I'm not even sure if he actually came here like the other ones. I know that they had to have food ready for him whenever, at all times, just in case he showed up. Next up is the Babylon Gallery. Babylon stuff, more cuneiforms. I'm not going to bore people with. Look, here's some seals. Ancient terracotta mold. The cylinder seals, stone cylinder seals, with various scenes. Old Babylonian period, 2000, 1500 BC. A clay figure with terracotta plaques depicting gods, mythical creatures, etc. More terracotta figures from Ur, Orca, and Tel Asmar. He's a pig. Jewelry, more jewelry. A lot, again, it says here, like a lot of these things were recovered from looters that nicked all this stuff. I don't know where they nicked it all from, though. A large box, possibly used as an incense burner or altar, has been restored with the head of an ibex. 2 stone duck weights from Warka. But again, look at the ceiling. So this is the Babylon room, and goodness knows what Saddam used it for in his time here. Next is the Basra Gallery. Let's go see, shall we? What does this say? The State Board of Antiquities gratefully acknowledges assistance from the following in the creation. The Friends of Basra Museum, the British Institute, British Museum, BP Foundation, so quite a lot of people. Oh, this is huge in here. Look at the ceiling. You know, like I said, I don't really normally go to museums. Here's a glazed pot. That's like when I was in Iraq, I found some pieces of glazed stuff like that. The glazed ones for 637, 1580. Little trinkets. Broken bits of stuff here. These giant pots here. Number one. Number one was a large pilgrim flask. AD 637. The storage jars here at the bottom. Islamic period AD 637 to 1500. The size of them. Look at the size of this one. More glazed things. Oh, look at that. These are like the pieces I found at Uruk that I had in my hand that time. So maybe it came from a piece like this, or little pieces like this. I don't know where these are from. Donation. Some from Old Basra. Look at the detail in these little heads. All the pots. A marble statue. And this is from Hatra. This Dudir. I still can't imagine this as being a palace. Oh, look, there's coins here too. You can come and see some coins and magnify them. Like this. I don't know if you can see that, because I can't. Oh, you can a wee bit. All the different coins. It doesn't really say where they're from or anything, other than this period. I can't even believe the detail on the ceilings. I read that when they did this renovation, the English guy that was talking about it, he says his name was in like all over the place. Saddam Hussein had his name carved like a Babylon. It was carved into everything. So in like the bricks and everything, and in order to get rid of it, they would have had to pretty much demolish the whole building. So they had to work around or over all Saddam's initials, his name. But I don't see his name. But I don't speak Arabic, so I wouldn't know if I saw it. I'm going into the educational room. I guess they do education in here. What do they do in here? They have classes and stuff?
Yes. Yeah, for the primary school, yeah, they bring them here to educate them
Okay.
about our history.
The education room. We'll educate the children about their history. Again, look at the ceilings. So that was it. That's the Basra Museum, folks. If you want to come here, former Saddam palace. But like I showed you before, his palaces go on for like miles. But this is the only one that they've renovated for the public. 3,000 for an Iraqi, about 25,000 for a tourist. Just like all the other sites, 25,000. There's no signs outside really, like big signs that say Basra Museum or anything.